Onto our final dashboard in the dashboard list, which is the sales dashboard. And when we select the sales dashboard, it changes our panels at the bottom of the dashboard page. And we can see here that we've got a pie chart over on the left-hand side. Each of these segments represents the amount of jobs that you have for that type of cost center. If you've got many cost centers, then you may well have an others segment on your pie chart, which I have because I've got quite a few. I would like to focus in on something though. These are your active jobs. And basically, we can see here I've got PPM, ventilation and air conditioning, and I've got 8 of those. Just so that you know, when you're looking at these values and the figure of 8, and I click onto that segment, it will take me to my All Jobs tab. And we can see I've got 4 in progress for that cost center and 3 in invoiced. And I have got 1 in archived as well. Although that adds up to 8, it's actually not measuring the archived one. It's measuring the 4 progress ones and the 3 invoice jobs. Now, why is it showing us a figure of 8 on the front page? I'm glad you asked. It's because inside one of these jobs, this top one here, I've got multiple cost centers. So jobs with multiple cost centers inside them are counted twice because Simpro sort of sees them as multiple jobs happening against one job. So you can think of this job as like a job group, but we're going to come on to that behavior later in the course, so I won't go into it now. Over on the right-hand side, we have the sales target bar chart. And just so that you can see where this is driven from, it's driven from 2 areas. We'll first start with the target here. So the targets are the grey bars, and if we click on any of those grey bars, it expands out the value so that we can see them more easily side by side, and click to contract them again. So at the moment, I've got install electrical, my target is 14,000, and I'm going to be a little bit mean to the team. I'm going to say, well, I'm going to put it up to 16, because if they've billed, 15,413 at the beginning of the month, I'm sure they can do 16. And let's go to accounts in system setup and cost centers. And I'm just going to find my install electrical one, which I'm going to do by, there we go, I was going to do Control F, but let's put this up to 16. So the figures that you enter into these monthly sales budget fields in any cost center will contribute or make up that, not contribute, their total value of that target figure that you see in those grey bars on the bar chart on the front page. So if I now return, that will be an immediate change, and we can see that, okay, well, install electrical team haven't yet quite met their target because I've just increased it by £2,000. Unlucky. So yeah, that's where the target is driven from. And you've also got obviously these figures in red as well. And the figures that you see in the red bar chart, as it says at the top of when you hover over there, invoice this month 15,413, invoice this month 7,493. So any invoice with the issue date, and that's very important, the issue date as December 2024 are going to be included in this chart. You can't skip between months. Obviously, if you create an invoice today and it's December, but you date it November or January, it still won't be included in this chart. So that's something to bear in mind. The last thing I'd like to point out is that you can also download these as images if you need to. Okay, open it up in your build, have a look, and if you don't have grey bars, it just means that you haven't set up your cost center targets. But equally, you'll still be able to see the amount that you've invoiced against each of your cost centers.